Greetings and salutations, this is Emperor Vespasian and his trusty sidekick.
Hello.
This is the Polikarpov P02, better known as the sewing machine or indeed the Sturmovik. You may have heard the name Sturmovik before in reference to the famous Sturmovik, which was an IL-2 ground attack aircraft used by the Soviet Army later on in the war. The original term Stormberg, which was the Stormbird, isn't it? Stormberg, was actually used for this aircraft. So this is a Polikarpov P02. It's a bomber, a medium bomber, a light bomber, used by the Soviet Army. Not only was it used way before most of the other Soviet aircraft were ever built, it was also used after the war as well. It's pretty much the workhorse of the Soviet Army. Workhouse? Where's workhouse come from? Workhouse?
I don't know, it's popped into your
Well,
head.
Russia was full of workhouses anyway, wasn't it? So it was the workhorse of the Soviet Army, and it was used as a liaison aircraft as well as a light bomber. Early on in Russia's war, particularly the war against China and Japan, these were used offensively as actual bombers. They were also used in the invasion of Poland as bombers, although by the time Barbarossa broke out, the Russians had sensibly started to relegate these to second-line duties, although after Barbarossa and the total disaster for the Soviet Air Force, they ended up being put back into service as bombers. And they served very well as night attack aircraft, night bombers, because the Germans couldn't see them to shoot them down, so very useful. Game terms. They carried 610-pound bombs, which would be a HE-6 howitzer shot, basically. That's pretty effective. That's 6 howitzers it can drop in one turn, although as accurate as a howitzer, so, you know, it's live. Howitzers aren't that good.
No. Well, unless you roll 6.
Yeah. But anyway, it carried an MMG, a fixed MMG firing to the rear, and that was about it. It was not overly powered or overly done with anything. It wasn't an absolutely brilliant aircraft, but in bolt action it is actually quite good as a ground attack aircraft. But if there's anything else flying in the sky, it's dead, because it can't manoeuvre and it's a string bag. So yeah, best ideas for using it, over to you.
Biggest and most scariest thing on the battlefield.
Scariest? Really? I usually laugh when you buy one. But yeah, actually, if those howitzer bombs hit, you do a lot of damage. And you can also use it as a strafing bomber, if depending on which rules you're using. You can use it as a support vehicle, so yeah, it could do quite a lot of damage. Would be like 66 HE and stuff like that. So yeah, it's actually not too bad. Technically they were used, as I said, from the start of the war right till the end of the war, although you're really only going to be using it unless you're doing, say, a partisan game where you're fighting against Russian partisans in the rear in 1944, 1943, then these guys might come on to support the partisans, that sort of stuff. But you're not really going to see it as a frontline combat aircraft after the winter of 1941. So it's up to you, really. But given that we're doing a lot of early war games, I had to make one because they're very useful and they're handy to do. And that's really all I've got to say about it. You?
It's a bomber.
Yeah, it's a bomber. It's pretty boring. There's nothing historically interesting about it. It was called the sewing machine because it sounded like the rattling of a sewing machine when it flew overhead. So why was it a good nighttime bomber then? You'd hear it a mile. Oh God, I can't understand.
Yeah, there's no need for sirens.
Yeah,
that is a siren.
It's got a built-in siren on it. Baka. Oh, the Russians are coming. Yeah. Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's a Sturmovik just slowly trundling across the sky. Another the only slight interesting point about this aircraft, they were often used to drop flares. They would fly over the German territory.
Incendiary bomb.
No, flares. Actual flares. They would fly over and they would drop flares to light the battlefield up. And it would make the Germans think there was about to be an attack, and it would stop the Germans getting any sleep. That's about it.
Actually, they weren't going to be attacked.
No, they weren't going to be attacked. The Russian army had been smashed and they were all running away, so no. So they would fly over, because they were expendable aircraft, they would fly over at night and drop flares, basically, to make the Germans think, oh, we're under attack, and make the Germans tired so they couldn't sleep. Yeah, but it's not actually that interesting. You can't use it for a game of bolt action, but it is a historical thing that they did. That's it. What a boring video.
I'm no good at it. Oh, that's why we had wrestling. The sound of the soldiers going over going out the Russians going out the trench.
Well, it's like the Japanese. We would hear metal running on roads, running on cobbles, and we'd tick 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 of metal moving on cobbles. And our soldiers, whatever it sounds like when you go find some cobbles and run a bicycle. I don't know, something like that. Anyway, metal running on cobbles, whatever that sounds like. And the British soldiers would panic and run away thinking there was a Japanese tank, whereas in reality it was just Japanese soldiers on bicycles where the tyres had burst. The tyres burst, but they carried on riding on them. So the sound of the metal rims of the wheels on the bikes would tap on the pavement on the cobbles, and the British would think a tank was coming and run away. But that's just nothing to do with this, but it's slightly more interesting than this aircraft.
Oh, is it everything?
Yeah, God, what a boring video. Anyway, I have nothing else to say. Tactically, it's a medium bomber. We've got way more interesting aircraft than this we want to talk about. This is boring. But, yeah, it puts you back 225 points, though.
Well, yeah, it holds actually quite good bombs.
Yeah, but...
I mean, last time I used it, I destroyed an entire Chinese unit, a tank, and 2 armoured cars. In one run.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, you did. You got some really good rolls that game, though. Yeah, you really did get some good rolls that game. Oh yeah, you hit my truck full of soldiers, which yeah.
Bye bye.
Yeah. So there we go. So in that case, it's the most awesome aircraft you will ever buy in bolt action. Go and buy one immediately. They're awesome. So yeah. Anyway, that's besides the point.
Are you trying to make this video drag on?
No, I'm not. Right, over to you for your goodbye bit.
So if you enjoyed this video, please do like and subscribe, and comment down below what you think of the Polikarpov PO-2.
PO2, yeah. Polikarpov 2. Yeah. Right.
That's everything from me.
And everything from him. Goodbye.
I say first.
Yeah.